The bomber you usually hear about after it has already left. There is a reason the B-2 Spirit does not need to look fast. It does not need to look loud. It does not need to look aggressive. Because the most terrifying thing about the B-2 is not what you see. It is what you never see coming. For more than 3 decades, this black flying wing has been one of the most mysterious aircraft in the world. No tail, no vertical stabilizer, no ordinary fuselage, no conventional bomber shape. Just a dark triangular shadow moving through the sky like something from another planet. But the B-2 Spirit is not science fiction, it is real. It can fly intercontinental missions. It can carry conventional or nuclear weapons. It can penetrate advanced air defenses. And it was designed for one of the hardest missions in modern warfare. Fly deep into enemy territory, remain extremely difficult to detect, strike heavily defended targets, and return home. Only a small number were ever built. Each one is incredibly expensive. Each one requires intense maintenance. And even now, as the next generation B-21 Raider prepares to take over the future of stealth bombing, the B-2 remains one of the most feared aircraft in America's arsenal. So what makes the B-2 Spirit so special? Why does its shape look so strange? How does stealth actually work? And why is this Cold War-era bomber still relevant in the age of satellites, drones, hypersonic missiles, and advanced radar? Let's break down the aircraft that changed stealth aviation forever. The shape that changed everything. The first thing everyone notices about the B-2 Spirit is its shape. It does not look like a normal airplane. Most aircraft have a fuselage, wings, tail, vertical stabilizer, horizontal stabilizer, and engines mounted in obvious places. The B-2 throws most of that away. It is a flying wing. That means almost the entire aircraft is wing. There is no traditional tail, no vertical fins sticking into the air, no obvious body separate from the wing. The cockpit, engines, fuel, landing gear, payload bays, and flight systems are all blended into one smooth, wide, bat-like shape. This is not just for style. This shape is part of the aircraft's stealth. A normal aircraft has many surfaces that can bounce radar energy back toward the source. Tails, engine inlets, wing edges, panel gaps, and sharp angles can all create radar reflections. The B-2's flying wing design reduces many of those radar-reflecting features. Its edges are carefully aligned. Its surfaces are smoothly blended. Its engines are buried inside the aircraft, and its exhaust is managed to reduce detectability. That is why the B-2 looks so unusual. Its shape was not designed to look beautiful. It was designed to disappear. But building a flying wing is not easy. Traditional aircraft use the tail to help with stability. Remove the tail, and the airplane becomes much harder to control. The B-2 needs advanced flight computers to remain stable. The pilot is flying the aircraft, but the computers are constantly making tiny corrections in the background. Without fly-by-wire control systems, a large stealth flying wing like the B-2 would be extremely difficult to manage. That makes the B-2 more than a bomber. It is a balance between aerodynamics, stealth, software, and engineering. Every curve has a purpose. Every edge has a reason. Every surface is part of the mission. The B-2 does not look like other aircraft because it was never meant to fight like other aircraft. It was built to enter places other aircraft were not supposed to survive. Stealth is more than being invisible. A lot of people misunderstand stealth. They think a stealth aircraft is completely invisible. That is not true. Stealth does not mean magic. It does not mean radar can never see you. It means the aircraft is designed to be much harder to detect, track, target, and engage. That difference is important. Air defense is not one single step. First, radar or sensors must detect something. Then they must track it. Then they must identify it. Then a weapon system must lock on. Then a missile or interceptor must engage. Stealth tries to break that chain. The B-2 was designed to reduce multiple signatures. Radar signature, infrared signature, acoustic signature, visual signature, and electromagnetic signature. The most famous part is radar. The B-2's shape and materials help scatter or absorb radar energy, so less of it returns to the radar receiver. But radar is only part of the problem. Engines produce heat. Aircraft produce noise. Antennas and electronics produce signals. Even the shape of an aircraft against the sky can matter. That is why the B-2's stealth is a system, not a single feature. Its composite materials help reduce radar reflection. Its special coatings help absorb radar energy. Its engine placement helps hide hot components. Its smooth flying wing shape reduces obvious radar returns. And its mission planning helps it choose routes that maximize survivability. This is why maintaining stealth is so difficult. A stealth aircraft must be carefully cared for. A small surface flaw, damaged coating, loose panel, or maintenance issue can affect low observable performance. The B-2 is not just expensive to build, it is expensive to keep stealthy. That is one of the biggest reasons only a small number were produced. But when the system works, it gives the aircraft a powerful advantage. It can create uncertainty. It can force enemy defenses to react late. It can complicate radar tracking. And it can make the bomber harder to target before it reaches its release point. That is the real power of stealth. Not invisibility, but time. The B-2 tries to take time away from the enemy. Time to detect. Time to react. Time to defend. And in modern air combat, a few seconds can change everything. Built for the Cold War, still relevant today. The B-2 spirit was born from Cold War fears. During that era, the United States needed a bomber that could penetrate heavily defended Soviet airspace. The mission was extreme. Fly from far away. Avoid detection. Survive advanced air defenses. Deliver nuclear or conventional weapons. And return. The original idea was not simply to build another bomber. America already had bombers. The B-52 could carry huge payloads over long distances. The B-1 could fly fast at low altitude. But the B-2 was different. It was built around stealth. It was designed to go where conventional bombers might not survive. When the Cold War ended, some people questioned whether such an aircraft was still necessary. The Soviet Union was gone. The threat environment changed. The planned fleet was reduced. And the B-2 became one of the rarest aircraft in the world. But history did not make the B-2 irrelevant. Instead, the aircraft found a new role. It became a long-range precision strike platform. A bomber that could fly from the United States, hit targets thousands of miles away, and return after extremely long missions with aerial refueling. The B-2 has been used in real combat operations, including missions over the Balkans, Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, and other high-profile operations. Its purpose evolved. Instead of only being a nuclear deterrent, it became a tool for conventional precision attack. That is one of the reasons the B-2 remains important. It gives the United States something very few countries have: a stealth bomber capable of global reach. Fighter jets may need forward bases. Drones may need regional access. Missiles may have political and strategic limitations. But a long-range stealth bomber can launch from far away and project power across continents. That gives national leaders options. And in military strategy, options matter. The B-2 is not just an aircraft. It is a message. It says America can reach defended targets from incredible distances, even if access is denied, even if bases are limited, even if the target is protected. That strategic message is why the B-2 is still relevant. It was built for the Cold War, but it still matters in a world of modern great power competition. The B-2 can carry massive firepower. The B-2 Spirit looks sleek and almost silent in the sky. But inside, it is a heavy bomber. Its payload capacity is around 40,000 pounds, or about 18,000 kilograms. That means it can carry a large variety of weapons, depending on the mission. Conventional precision-guided bombs, nuclear weapons, heavy penetrating weapons, and multiple guided munitions in internal weapons bays. That last detail matters. The B-2 carries weapons internally. External weapons hanging under the wings would ruin stealth. They would create radar reflections and drag. So the B-2 hides its weapons inside the aircraft until release. This is one of the hardest parts of stealth bomber design. You need to carry a serious payload without making the aircraft easier to detect. The B-2 solves this with internal bays built into the flying wing. This allows the aircraft to combine stealth with bomber-level firepower. That is what makes it different from many stealth fighters. A stealth fighter may be able to penetrate defended airspace, but it usually carries fewer weapons when configured for maximum stealth. The B-2 can remain low observable while carrying a much larger payload. That makes it a unique tool for certain missions. It can hit multiple targets. It can strike hardened facilities. It can carry heavy weapons that smaller aircraft cannot. And it can do it from intercontinental range with aerial refueling. This combination is rare. Stealth, range, payload, precision. Most aircraft are strong in one or two of those areas. The B-2 combines all four. That is why it became one of the most expensive and strategically valuable aircraft ever built. It is not designed to be used casually. It is not sent for ordinary missions. When the B-2 appears in a military operation, it usually means the target matters. And that is why the aircraft has such a powerful reputation. It does not need to fly often to be feared. Its existence alone changes the calculation. Why the B-2 costs so much? The B-2 Spirit is often described as one of the most expensive aircraft ever made. And there are reasons for that. First, the technology was extremely advanced for its time. Stealth shaping, radar-absorbent materials, advanced avionics, mission computers, fly-by-wire controls, and precision manufacturing all added cost. Second, the production number was very small. Aircraft become cheaper per unit when many are built. But the B-2 fleet was cut dramatically after the Cold War. Instead of building a large fleet, the United States built only a small number. That pushed the per-aircraft cost much higher. Third, maintaining the B-2 is expensive. Stealth aircraft are not like normal aircraft. Their surfaces must be protected. Their coatings must be maintained. Their panel alignment matters. Their low observable features require specialized work. Even routine maintenance can be more complicated because the aircraft's stealth must be preserved. Fourth, the B-2 is a strategic bomber. It is not a simple combat aircraft. It needs long-range systems, nuclear mission capability, advanced communications, navigation systems, weapons integration, and survivability features. Everything about it is built to operate at the highest level of national military strategy. That level of capability is not cheap, but the cost also explains why the B-2 is so rare. It was too expensive to build in large numbers. And because only a small fleet exists, each aircraft becomes even more valuable. This creates a strange reality. The B-2 is one of America's most powerful aircraft, but also one of its most limited resources. Every mission has to be carefully planned. Every aircraft matters. Every maintenance cycle matters. That rarity adds to the legend. People do not see B-2s every day. They do not appear everywhere. They are based primarily at Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. They are often hidden in secure hangars. And when they do fly publicly, their shape still stops people in their tracks. Part of the B-2's mystique comes from its cost. But another part comes from its scarcity. It is not just another military plane. It is one of the rarest and most recognizable bombers ever built. Flying a B-2 is not like flying a normal bomber. The B-2 may look smooth and futuristic from the outside, but flying it is a serious challenge. This is a large aircraft. Its wingspan is about 172 feet, or over 52 meters. That is wider than many commercial aircraft. But unlike a normal bomber, the B-2 has no traditional tail. That means stability depends heavily on its flight control system. The aircraft uses computers to help manage pitch, roll, and yaw. The pilots fly the mission, but the aircraft systems are constantly helping maintain control. The cockpit is designed for 2 pilots, and B-2 missions can be extremely long. Some missions have lasted more than 30 hours with aerial refueling. Imagine sitting inside a stealth bomber for that long, flying across oceans, refueling in the air, monitoring systems, managing navigation. preparing for a high-stakes strike, then returning across the world. This is not like a short fighter sortie. It is endurance aviation at the highest level. The pilots need physical stamina, mental discipline, and constant focus. Long-range bomber crews must manage fatigue, timing, communication, mission updates, and emergency planning. And because the aircraft is so valuable, every action matters. The B-2 is also flown carefully because of its stealth requirements. It cannot be treated like a rough, rugged battlefield aircraft. It is a precision machine. The aircraft must arrive at the right time, from the right direction, in the right configuration, with the right mission data. That is why B-2 missions involve far more than the aircraft itself. They require intelligence, planning, aerial refueling, weather analysis, maintenance support, weapons preparation, communications, and coordination across multiple commands. The public sees the black flying wing, but behind each flight is a massive system of people and technology. That is what makes the B-2 so impressive. It is not only a stealth bomber. It is the visible tip of a huge strategic machine. Why the B-2 still scares air defenses? The B-2 was designed decades ago, so why does it still matter? Because stealth, range, and payload remain extremely valuable. Modern air defenses are becoming more dangerous. Radar systems are more advanced. Missiles can reach farther. Sensor networks can share data. Satellites, drones, and electronic warfare have changed the battlefield. In theory, this makes it harder for any aircraft to survive. But it also makes the B-2's mission more important. When defenses are strong, non-stealth aircraft face greater risk. A conventional bomber may need fighter escorts, electronic attack aircraft, suppression of enemy air defenses, or standoff weapons launched from farther away. The B-2 was built to reduce that dependency. It can attempt to penetrate defended airspace with a lower chance of detection. That does not mean it is invincible. No stealth aircraft is invincible, but it forces defenders to work harder. A radar may detect something late. A system may struggle to track it. A missile battery may not get a stable firing solution in time. A commander may not know what is coming until the strike is already underway. That uncertainty is powerful. The B-2 does not need to destroy every air defense system by itself. It only needs to make defense planning harder. It forces the enemy to ask uncomfortable questions. Can we see it? Can we track it? Is it already inside our defense zone? What else is coming behind it? That psychological pressure is part of the aircraft's value. Stealth is not only technical. It is strategic. It creates doubt. And in war, doubt can be dangerous. That is why the B-2 remains one of the most intimidating aircraft in the world. It represents the possibility that even heavily defended targets may not be safe. The B-2 and the B-21 Raider. The B-2 Spirit will not serve forever. Its replacement is already here in development. The B-21 Raider. The B-21 is designed to be the next generation of American stealth bomber. It is expected to be more modern, easier to maintain, more digitally connected, and built with lessons learned from the B-2. In many ways, the B-21 exists because the B-2 was so groundbreaking and so difficult. The B-2 proved what a stealth bomber could do. But it also showed how expensive and maintenance-heavy such an aircraft could become. The B-21 aims to keep the advantages while improving affordability, sustainment, upgradability, and production scale. But until the B-21 is fielded in meaningful numbers, the B-2 still matters. The U.S. Air Force continues to modernize and sustain the B-2 fleet. That tells you something important. Even with a next-generation bomber coming, the old stealth bomber is still valuable. It still fills a role that few aircraft can match. And its transition will not happen overnight. Strategic bombers are not replaced like cars. They require years of testing, training, basing, production, weapons integration, and operational planning. So, the B-2 and B-21 will likely share the stage during a transition period. The B-2 is the legend. The B-21 is the future. And together, they show how important stealth bombing remains to American strategy. But the B-21 does not erase the B-2's legacy. If anything, It proves how important that legacy was. The B-2 created the template. The B-21 is the next chapter. Why Americans are still fascinated by the B-2. The B-2 Spirit is more than a bomber. It is an icon. In the United States, few aircraft create the same reaction when they appear overhead. At air shows, flyovers, and major national events, the B-2 looks unlike anything else in the sky. It does not roar like a fighter jet. It does not look massive like a B-52. It does not look sleek like a commercial airliner. It appears almost silently at first. A black shape, a shadow, a flying triangle. Then the crowd realizes what they are seeing. That visual effect is unforgettable. The B-2 became famous because it looks like the future, even decades after it first flew. It has the mystery of classified technology, the power of nuclear deterrence, the drama of long-range strike missions, the cost of a superweapon, and the shape of something that seems almost alien. That combination makes it perfect for American military storytelling. It is a machine that represents engineering ambition, strategic power, technological risk, and national defense. But it also represents a question. How far will a country go to build an aircraft that can reach anywhere? The B-2 is one answer. It was expensive. It was difficult. It was controversial. But it also became one of the most advanced bombers ever flown. That is why people still click on B-2 videos. They want to know how it works. They want to know why it costs so much. They want to know whether it can still survive. They want to know what replaces it. And they want to understand how an aircraft that looks so strange can be so powerful. The B-2 is not just a topic. It is a mystery people want opened. The dark truth about the B-2's power. The B-2 Spirit is often described as beautiful, and in a strange way, it is. Its flying wing shape is clean, smooth, and futuristic. But we should not forget what it was built to do. The B-2 is a weapons system. It was designed for some of the most serious missions on Earth. It can deliver conventional weapons. It can deliver nuclear weapons. It can strike from long range. It can penetrate defended airspace. And it is part of America's strategic deterrent. Choose a voice that resonates with you, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. The B-2 is not only about attacking, it is also about preventing war. That is the logic of deterrence. If an adversary knows the United States can reach heavily defended targets, even from far away, then the cost of aggression becomes higher. That does not make the aircraft less controversial. Strategic bombers always raise serious questions. Cost, escalation, nuclear weapons, military spending, modernization, risk. But whether people admire it or criticize it, the B-2 remains one of the most important aircraft of the modern era. Because it sits at the intersection of technology and strategy. It is not just a machine. It is a geopolitical message with wings. The bomber that still refuses to fade away. The B-2 Spirit is one of the strangest aircraft ever built. It looks silent. It looks alien. It looks almost impossible. But behind that smooth black shape is one of the most complex military aircraft in history. A flying wing designed for stealth. A strategic bomber built for global reach. A machine capable of carrying massive firepower while remaining extremely difficult to detect. It was born from the Cold War. It survived changing threats. It fought in real operations. And even now, as the B-21 Raider prepares to take over the future, the B-2 still refuses to fade away. Because very few aircraft can do what it does. Very few can combine stealth, range, payload, and precision at this level. And very few aircraft create the same feeling when they pass overhead. The B-2 is not just a bomber. It is a shadow, a warning, a symbol of American airpower, and one of the clearest examples of how far aviation can go when engineers are asked to build something almost impossible. So what do you think? Is the B-2 Spirit still one of the most terrifying aircraft in the world? Or is the B-21 Raider about to make it look outdated? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.